What's going on? This is Fetty Flint right here. About to show you all how to utilize TrueCar to your benefit in order to get the most money off of a new car. Negotiating the price of a new car is pretty cut and dry. It's not, really, it shouldn't really be much negotiation at all. You as the consumer, you hold most of the power. Dealerships are at your mercy, and that's why when you're shopping for new cars, some people, most people don't like it, but it's going to take a little bit of patience to get what you want. But if you shop 8 to 10 dealerships and use that as ammunition to keep your local dealership honest and force them to match it, you should come out on top and get a bigger discount off the price than if you had just went in with a TrueCar certificate. Because a lot of times with the TrueCar, you'll get a couple of $2,000-3,000 off the car. But I can tell you personally, it doesn't matter what you're shopping for. And in this example, we're going to be looking at a Mercedes Benz, but you know, Nissans, Toyotas, Hondas, all of your, whatever you want to call them, economy cars, you can get anywhere from 10 to 20% off the MSRP pretty routinely, depending on the model. If it's like their top of the line one, the upwards of whatever 40, 50,000. I know Toyota Land Cruisers are like 80. You might be hard pressed to get a big discount off of those, but for the most part, whether it's a Toyota, a Honda, a Nissan, whether it's a Lexus, a Mercedes, a BMW, an Audi, an Infiniti, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how to use TrueCar and put yourself in a position to get the most money off of a car. So I'm going to hit you with a lot of ammo that you can take with you in order to really save you some money, because these dealerships play games and they understand the game is patience. They understand that a lot of people don't really know what they're doing, but it's a simple process, and I'm gonna show you how to do that now. Before we get into that, I wrote a book on all of this, right? A little bit of what I'm gonna talk about is in the book, but my book is called Holdback. As you can see right now, it's on Amazon. You can get that if you had a Kindle app or an actual Amazon Kindle, however you want to do it. The print version will be out probably in a few months. Just going through some last little provisioning to get everything the way I want it, and also getting feedback. So there's some people that's reading and they might have a question, and I kind of go in and elaborate, or maybe I go in and take something out. It just kind of depends on the feedback that I'm getting. But anything you want to know is in there. I'm detailing the road to the sale that dealerships use. I'm detailing, some of the tactics that they use, different what's called word tracks, which are statements to elicit a response from you, right? All of that is in the book. I also got examples of what it looks like when they present numbers. I got all of that in there. So if you're in the market for a car, or you're going to be in the market for a car shortly, you know somebody that's in the market for a car, that's what you need to read right there. It's a lot of ammo in there. Honestly, I should have called the book Ammo, but that's besides the point. So let's get right into it. So we got the Mercedes-Benz website here. One of the first steps that you need to do, as I stated earlier, is you want to shop multiple dealerships. You need to be shopping 8 to 10 dealerships when you're looking at a new car. The reason being is that, for example, I live in Nashville. Somebody gets this particular lead from me and they see I'm in Nashville, they're going to be more inclined to give me a bigger discount than if I lived locally, because they get leads all the time from people locally and things. Now, they do have other dealerships that they have to compete with, but for the most part, they're going to be more aggressive, excuse me, to entice you to make the voyage a couple of hours to do business when you could just do business locally. So you need to use this as a way to kind of pit your local dealership to let them know, look, it's not going to be easy to earn your business. So we're going to use Mercedes-Benz of Buckhead for this example. Now, when you're dealing with TrueCar, all dealerships aren't affiliated with TrueCar. They aren't part of their dealer network. So the reason I'm using Mercedes-Benz of Buckhead is because they just so happen to be the only one in Atlanta that they are. So Let's go to their website here, and I think I gotta just type it in. I know I got it in here somewhere. I think this is it right here. All right, so this just takes me straight to their new inventory here. So one thing about TrueCar that you must know, and let me back it up again. When you're shopping for a new car, it's 3 steps. First step is you need to find the car that you want, right? You need to make note of the MSRP. You need to write that down. I would advise maybe take just a little bit of notes, just so you can kind of remember some of this stuff. First step, find the car you want. Make note of the MSRP. Second, locate the biggest city near you. In this case, it's Atlanta, but it could be whether you're in Indiana, maybe it's Chicago, whether it's Indianapolis. It doesn't matter. You want to find a city where there's multiple dealerships. Now, for example, here in Nashville, if I'm looking at a Toyota, it's several Toyota dealerships here. If I'm looking at a Nissan, it's several Nissan dealerships. So, depending on the brand, you may not have to go far outside of your city. But if you're looking at luxury brands, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to shop multiple cities in order to get the lowest price. And the third step is really just to shop. Again, new cars is pretty simple. Used cars is a little bit more complex, and I'm going to make a separate video for used cars and kind of demonstrating how to do that. So we're going to use a 2017 E-Class for this particular example here. Anybody that's shopping for one of those, but this can be used across the board, across the product line. This is pretty routine stuff here. So let's get them narrowed down. Now, going back to step one, finding the car that you want. You want to make note of the price and the MSRP and the options. So what I got for you here, I got an actual window sticker of a 2017 E300 that's sitting on the ground at a dealership. Now, this is what's called the Maroney sticker. All new cars have this in them. They're going to all look the same. On the left, you have what's standard on the car. So your standard features right there. So this is going to tell you everything that comes on the car. If you were just getting just a base car with just the windows and the seats in it, this will be the price. This will be everything that's on it. What we want to pay attention to here are the optional equipment and packages, right? Which is going to give us the total price of the MSRP down here. So let's go back to our Mercedes website. So 61,375. Just in case you didn't see it on the sticker, 61,375. So this is more than likely the same car. Every now and again, it's rare you'll see one where the prices are the same or close, but the equipment is different. That could be maybe because one is an all-wheel drive and one is not. So what we're going to do here, we're gonna make sure everything matches up. So this one has a Premium 2 package. We go back to our window sticker, Premium 2 package right here. This one has the Burmeister sound system. We're going to go back to our window sticker. Got your Burmeister sound system. This one has a sport package. Now, if we read here, it isn't listed, but we're just going to assume that it has it. In the event that it doesn't, then we may just have to go back and pick a different car at the inventory, but this one should have it. It should be the exact same car. So now we've selected the car we wanted. We've got the city that we're going to shop with. This is Atlanta. Now we're going to go into the TrueCar, right? So we're just going to go shop now, pretty self-explanatory. We're going to pick the make. We're going to pick the model, E-Class. This is just a Georgia zip code. I think that's for Stone Mountain. All right. All right, we're going to exit all this mess out. So this is where you want to be at right here. First thing we're going to take note of is the MSRP. Well, our MSRP is 61,375. So this is not the right car. If you take this certificate in or print this out and take this in and say, I want the 61,375. I want to get the 61,375 car for 49,504. That's not how it works. A lot of people think that's how it works. That's where you get confused, and that's where when you go in there and then they only take 2,000 off the car and they justify it by saying, well, the MSRPs don't match, so that's why the discount is different. Now that's partially right, but you can still get a sizable discount once you have the car loaded up. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to colors and options. You want to click that. Some brands charge more for different colors. We got a polar white selected, so we don't really need to change anything here. You can do the interior if you want. Most brands do. It depends. They might charge if there's an upgrade for the leather. A lot of brands are going to a synthetic leather, but we're not going to worry about that because it's not going to change our MSRP. So when we go to options, you'll notice you got a premium 1, a premium 2, and a premium 3. But notice how they have their own price kind of loaded in there. Now our car didn't have a panoramic roof, so that's added on. So sometimes people will just click these and the MSRPs still don't match up. You have to get the MSRPs to match up, and there's a way to do this if you didn't know. We're going to click I want to build my own. Now we can configure the car exactly as it sits based on our window sticker. All right. So, and I would recommend, if you're, maybe go to the dealership on a day that they're closed or after hours if you don't want to be bothered with a salesperson. That way you can kind of take a look at the stickers, look at the car, and then you can take a picture of a couple different stickers. So then you can do this. You can do all that without having to interact with a salesperson, and it'll take 10 minutes, right? So what we're going to do is, let's go back to our window sticker. First thing we're going to find is the Burmeister sound system. Now notice right here at the top, you got the invoice price, you got the MSRP. This is just what the MSRP version is, what the dealer marks up or what the manufacturer allows them to mark up. So this is the retail price, this is the invoice price. Pretty simple stuff. So let's look for the Burmeister sound system. See, everything is kind of listed. Now see, we got a Burmeister right here, but it's $5,400. That's not the right one. That's an upgraded one. This is what we want right here, $850. All right, let's click that. MSRP should change. All right, next, premium 2 package, $6,800. All right, let's go back up to the top. Typically I think the packages are listed at the beginning. So you got premium 1, premium 3, premium 2, $6,800. Bam. All right, hit the plus sign, shows you everything that's included. So we'll click that. MSRP should adjust. All right. Lastly, we got the sport package. Now remember, on the website it wasn't listed. Let's see if we got it anywhere. That's a sport wheel package. And that's a sport package. That's already checked. So sport wheel package, we got 650. 650. That's the one right there. So let's hit that. Bam. 61,375. 61,375. So we in there. All right. So what we're gonna do next? We're gonna hit done. Now note, watch these numbers change. All right. So now MSRP is 61,375. You got a market average of 57,597. You got the TrueCar average price of 55,741. Now, if we just hover over this, it'll kind of tell us what this means. It talks about a mathematical calculation based on recent transactions. Basically, just provides you kind of a rough idea, or it's an average of what other people have paid for the car, and that's how they determine the average price. So I'm going to tell you right now, most people are going to go off the lowest price, right? As you should, because the MSRP is here. We already configured the car. So if the average price paid is this, that means that, well, the TrueCar average, because now you got your market average here. Again, mathematical calculation. Let's see. What other buyers are paying for the vehicle you've selected as you have configured it. So again, when it comes to negotiations, you got people are always going to go with the lowest price. That's what I advise that you do. You go with the lowest price, and we're going to scroll down. There's going to be a little graph, and it'll kind of explain it. But if there's an average price, then you have people that have paid a little less for that. You have people that have paid a little more for that. This is where shopping multiple dealerships is going to favor you. You want 9 times out of 10, you want the lowest best price. Now, sometimes you might sacrifice in service. You might go deal with a dealership that they don't treat the customers right. You might deal with a salesperson that really doesn't care about you and your needs. Versus if you went in, sat down with a consultant and went through the whole process, they can more than likely get you to this price if you're dealing with somebody that's truly trying to earn your business and truly cares about you and your needs. So you got a dozen on this side, and whatever the other saying is, six and a half in this hand, half a dozen, six in the other hand. Doesn't really matter. You determine it how you want to play it, but I'm going to tell you or recommend to you to use the lowest number and start at that point, and then let everybody decide if they can beat that, if they want to go lower. But we'll get into that in a second. So let's scroll down. Now you got your graph here. MSRP 61,375. Factory invoice. This may or may not be an accurate invoice price or what the dealership pays, because TrueCar relies on the dealerships to provide them with that information. I know all of this because at one of the dealerships that I worked, I was what you call a TrueCar representative within the dealership. So I handled all of the TrueCar leads, and I had to provide one of the TrueCar actual employees. They would call me and ask me, what are the specials? What is this? What is that? And I would have to give them that information. And sometimes figures changed. So this may or may not be accurate. Now, invoice and holdback are two different things. If you get the book, which is actually called Holdback, it goes into that. So holdback, just in a nutshell, is profit that is protected, that the dealership really doesn't like to go into, because the invoice, you got your invoice price, and then let's just say, for this example, holdback is $2,000 less than that. So let's say the holdback price would be 55,885. So what that means is, if they can sell you the car at this price right here, 57,885, they're still making $2,000 on the sale of the car. That's all holdback is. So if they were to sell you the car at 56,885, well, they be making $1,000 on the car, just off the holdback. But there's other fees and things that are involved with when you're doing business with a dealership. So you got your TrueCar average price of 55,748. Says it's a great price, right? Anything right here in 59 range says it's a good price, and this is above market. Now we're looking at the exceptional price column right here. So basically this is saying anything under 54.6 is going to be a good price. I would recommend you use that as your starting point. Anywhere you could honestly offer anywhere from 50 to 54. A lot of dealerships are going to try to bump you up a couple of thousand to more than likely probably get you closer to this price right here, that 54, 55 range, because more than likely they're going to be making money by selling you the car at that price, because there's different incentives and bonuses that they get for selling a certain amount of cars. Again, all that's in the book. But on a new car, if you're using TrueCar, I would recommend you find what that exceptional price is, what that range is, and then start, anywhere from 3 to 5,000 below that as your criteria for earning, for a dealership to earn your business. Okay. So once we have everything configured, we have our car built, the MSRPs match, we see what our TrueCar average price is. All this stuff really down here is fluff. And again, also, sometimes you got USAA TrueCar discounts. Sometimes you have like American Express TrueCar discounts, whatever company it is that you're affiliated with, or brand, whatever kind of specials that you get where you can get a quote unquote TrueCar certificate based on that membership or based on that affiliation, it's still not going to be better than what you could get, the discount you could get going with this method here. That's just what I've seen. Honestly, even on a 17, this is the, and we're in that year 17, somebody could get $10,000 off this car with enough patience and shopping around, shopping enough dealerships. Somebody will get you close to 60 or 51, 375, 52, 53. Somebody will get you there. And that's excellent for a Mercedes Benz. Now, let's look at what 10% of the MSRP is, because a lot of times when you're dealing with discounts off a new car, you have to look at the percentages. So we at 61, 375. And of course, times 0.1 minus 61, 375. So that'll put it at 55, 237.50. So right around 9-10% is what the TrueCar average is. That's actually pretty good. Now, you may, when you click the view inventory button, this number may change. All right. This number could change. Let's see here, 9.8 to 10.6% below MSRP. That's actually pretty good. I would say that's what you should be shooting for when you're looking at a luxury car. Now, if you're looking at like a Lexus or an Infiniti, it might be a little more difficult to get them to go that high from a percentage standpoint, because a lot of times they really don't have to. So but BMW, Mercedes, yeah, it's definitely possible because they have a higher markup on their vehicles. If you look at the way Lexuses are priced, they're typically cheaper by several thousand than similar cars in their class. So that's just a little tidbit to remember. Now, if we're looking at Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Fords, whatever kind of cars in that what you want to call maybe economy class, it shouldn't be harder for you to get 15 to 20% off of the MSRP, because they have more rebates, they have more incentives, and when they have dealer cash or dealer rebates, that's something that the manufacturer offers them, so they can still offer discounts on top of that. All of that's in the book Holdback. Don't forget that. All right. So if we go view pricing on local inventory, we put in the email here, and I gotta remember my password. Okay, I think I already did this. All right. So let me go to my emails here. All right. So it went through. Now again, if we go back to the original list here, find a Mercedes-Benz dealer. The dealer that we chose, which was Mercedes-Benz of Buckhead, they're the only ones that are TrueCar affiliated, right? So when I submitted my my lead, it only gave me that dealership to choose from because they're the only ones. Now don't be alarmed at that. All you're looking for is a starting point. All right. So this is it right here. Mercedes-Benz of Buckhead guaranteed savings. Okay, so now this confuses people. So you built your car, you found a dealership, and now you want to negotiate. Well, the first thing, let's look at, does our MSRP match? 61 130. Let's go back to our car. 61 375. No, that's not the same car. Let's look and see if the VINs match up. 0718. Nope, VINs don't match. But don't worry about that. That's not really a big deal. Let's go to the savings. Now notice here, guaranteed savings 3,998. Well, our TrueCar, we had savings of almost $5,000. So This is where people get a little bit confused. And again, don't worry about all of that. All right. So what you want to do is, if you were, let's see, this is your certificate here. So let's view our certificate. Put in my email here. Now, most of the time, this is what I had to do. I would send these emails out, and these are all done. These are all done by the salesperson that gets the lead. All of this is done by them. They find the car, they build the car. Okay, so this is what it would look like if you received an email from a TrueCar affiliated dealer. So let's see. Accept the terms. Let's go. So this is the certificate that you could print out and take to the dealership. Now I want to close this out for a second here. So you notice the certificate that TrueCar sent us is 55,748, but the one that we got from our gentleman here was for a little bit less. So I'm sorry. Let me back up. This is what the gentleman sent from the dealership, right? This is what the email that we got here, where we pulled this up. This is what TrueCar would have sent us, because notice everything is the same from how we built it. All right. So what you're going to go off of, let's say you got the email from the dealership and his price was 57,870, but your TrueCar price was 55,748. They're going to match this price. They're not going to hesitate. They're going to match this price because they have the car in stock. This is the TrueCar price right here. If you got 8 dealerships that you're talking to, half of them are going to match it. And your local one, more than likely, once you talk to them and you say, hey, well, I'm in Atlanta, or I'm sorry, I live in Nashville, and Atlanta said they're going to match it, they're going to go ahead and match that for you. Now, getting lower than this price here, that's where you're going to have to use that's where the patience is going to have to come in. And this is where you're going to have to use a little bit of reasoning, where you tell the dealership, well, look, I only got approved for, you know, 53 before taxes, which is going to equal whatever that equals, because of course you still have to factor in tax. So that's where you can shoot your offer of, look, if you can get me down to 52, you can earn my business today. So that's where you can use TrueCar as a starting point to negotiate, because if you walk just inside the dealership, 9 times out of 10, they're going to hit you with something like this right here. $4,000 off it's not shabby. I've seen people only get $1,800 or $2,000 off, but you're going to start high, close to the MSRP as possible, and then work yourself down. So what you want to do is, again, find the car that you want. Take note of the MSRPs. If you have to, go to the dealership on a day where they're closed so you can look in peace if you don't want to be bothered with anybody. Build your car via TrueCar. Get your certificate, the one that TrueCar emails you. And then when they tell you whatever dealership is TrueCar affiliated, then you'll get a separate one from the dealership. You'll need to go with the lowest of the two and then use that as a starting point, because they will take more off the price of the car. So I'm just trying to help people that really don't know anything about buying a car. I know it can be stressful, but there's a process to it. And as much as dealerships try to make the process difficult, it's easy if you know the steps. You can save yourself a lot of time and you can cut right to the chase. So TrueCar, that's an example of how to use it on new cars. This can be used on any brand. It doesn't matter. Just keep in mind, with a luxury brand, more than likely you're going to have to shop outside of your city in order to get multiple dealerships to compete. Put any questions you have in the comments. Any suggestions, any other videos you want me to do, I'd be happy to do one on another brand just to kind of show how that works. And again, don't forget, if you are in the market for a car, know anybody that's in the market for a car, Holdback is the book you need to read. I got examples of all kinds of stuff in there. I actually showed different examples of what a lease numbers look like, finance numbers, paying cash, all of that stuff. If you're trading, and I might do a video on that if you're trading with like negative equity, things like that, because that's something that a lot of people get confused about. So again, this is Fetty Flint, author of the book Holdback, The Consumer's Playbook to Buying a Car. This has been the video on how to use TrueCar to buy a new car. There'll be one coming on used car soon. We won't use TrueCar. We'll use a couple other websites. Hope this has been helpful, and I'm going to sign out for the day.